Talk about saying the quiet part out loud. The board has said no to me getting my Continental Pro because they fear that bettering myself could lead to a bigger club coming in for my services. Well, guess what, guys? My contract's up at the end of the season, so you can do one. We're going to go through the transfer window today. I want to show you the K League 1 top young player odds. First, though, Svetkovic tops the list. We also have Kang Ju-hyuk, who is on loan at Gimchan as part of the military service, who's a winger of either variety, but looks to be quite a tasty nugget, you could say. So eventually he will come back. But Svetkovic, as good as he is, also represents a problem when it comes to squad building. So let's go look at the transfers. It's actually been relatively quiet, more outs than ins. You've got James McAtee coming in on a free. You already knew about that one, but he is a tasty nugget at 25. Nam Seung Ki is a center back who is going to slot right into the starting lineup. Kim Joo-hyun, who is a center back slash DM slash right back. He's essentially Marco Antonio, but 18. Jung Sung Min, who is another center back who will slot right back into the starting lineup. And then a wise old veteran, Lee Dong-gyong, who is an attacking, really, if he plays midfield or forward, you're good to go. Now, this is James. We're not going to spend too much time here. You've already seen him. He showed up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to rock heading into preseason. He's got 3 starts and 2 goals on a 7.4. He's a lovely little nugget. $3 million to $4.5 million value with a $3 million release clause does make me a tad bit nervous. Next up, we have Nam Seung Ki, who we picked up for 725 grand, rising to 950 grand from Gangwon. So we've weakened a rival, 18 years old. Remember how I said we needed to really reinforce our back line because they were aging and not very good? We've done that in the middle of the back line. We will talk about the wingback situation here in a little bit, but Nam Seung Ki is a reasonably left-footed, very strong right-footed central defender. I believe he is the one that prefers just to play central defender on cover. Let me take a look. No, that's wrong. He doesn't care where he plays. So we are going to be training him as a ball-playing defender, even though he's got first touch of 6, technique of 7. He's got the vision. He just can't do anything with the ball at his feet. But we want to play this tiki-taka style. He's 18. I really think he's got time to develop. He's 6'4". He's not very pacey, right, in terms of acceleration. It takes him a long time to get to that 12 pace, but he gets 16 jumping reach because he's 6'4". So I still think it's an improvement over what we had. Next up is Kim Joo-hyun that we got from Gwangju that were relegated. The relegation price went from 900 to 450k, so we've picked him up. Again, when I look at him, I literally go, oh, this is the new Marco Antonio, except he's South Korean and won't take a foreign player spot. He's got the defensive midfielder. He's natural, obviously, as the center back, and he can help cover the right back. So overall, 18 years old, has time to develop. We can train him here. We can train him here. It doesn't really matter. He's right-footed, very strong. His value, 800k to 1.3 million, means we got a value out of him. He does have a minimum fee release clause of 1.6 million that expires in a little bit over a year. So that makes me a tad bit nervous. But again, I think he's an improvement over what we had. 2.5 stars, so he's not going to start all the time, I should say. But like he's definitely already a squad player, so we'll just rotate him in. Young Sung Min is the player that prefers to only play central defender on cover. So I've actually changed our tactic with that left center back to being on cover versus on defend, which is a bit odd. He's 3-star, but you think with the aggression, right? Like, you're adding that. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he prefers to play cover. That's what he wanted to be able to sign, and he literally is just going to take Al Arab's spot, who has left the club because he's 3.5 star week. He's 22 years old. Freaking love that. 500 to 950k. No release clause on a deal until the end of the 2029 season. Oh, and I should mention, we paid 275 from Jeju. They got value. They paid 21 grand. That's quite the good business, to be fair. And last but not least, we have Lee Dong-gyong, who is that I play everything except defense type player. I picked him up because we are surprisingly light with quality depth at striker and also a little bit at left wing at that winger spot. So he came up on our radar. We scouted him, actually brought him in on a trial. He's 5.5 or 5.25 thousand euros per week, which is the weirdest way I could possibly have said that. Very strong footed on the left. Do I think he's going to fall apart? Yes, I do. Did we sign him on a 3-year deal? Yes, I did. Is he going to be here that long? I mean, it says he's worth 1.1 to 1.6 million, which I understand has a lot to do with his contract value. But overall, in terms of adding quality depth, he did take a squad player contract, which I thought was very, very important because he wanted a regular starter, and I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. I probably should have only done like a 2-year deal, but 3 years. By the time he leaves, he'll be 33. We won't be here probably because we're going to leave at the end of the season because we're going to say to the board, fine, do one. Now, the most notable out is Veldine. We have sold him for 675. 675 rising to whatever it is. We got 675 out of him. It's not anything to do with him as a player, to be honest. Like, I would have loved to have kept him. It's just this league is very challenging to find quality at certain positions that make a difference and not have them all be foreign players. And we just didn't have room. With McAtee coming in, we just didn't have room for Veldine to be registered. If he was Australian, that would have been fine. We just didn't have the spot for him, unfortunately, because it's not just that if you play them, it's how many you can register, right? You can register 5 non-South Korean, non-Asian players, and you can sign, one additional foreign player that is Asian but not South Korean. So we just didn't have enough spots. I'm kind of disappointed and gutted that he's gone because he's 25. He's the type of player I love to see. Gave us a 6.96 last season, but he had to go. Celebratory noises here. We finally got rid of the guy who thought he was the best player at the club. We have sold Willian to Jeonnam Dragons, who at one point I considered doing a save for. That may be an FM26 thing, although do we really have a lot of demand for South Korean saves? I'm not sure. So they've recently gotten promoted, and good for them. Hold on, we sold him? Yes, we did. For 20 and a half grand. Get in. It was honestly about getting his wages off of the books. So by the way, he also wouldn't leave until we gave him a 20K payoff. So essentially we made 500 euros on the transfer, but we saved the money on his wages because he was making like 5.25 or 5.75 thousand euros per week. So we still saved money in the budget. It was just like, really, bro, you haven't played at all, and now you're like, nah, I want my payoff. Like, come on. The rest of the outs are mostly loans. As you can see, we've got players going on to their military service, including Min Ji-hoon, who was our midfielder, the left DM that we were playing because he was under 22. He's now not under 22s, or would he be because it's the start of the season? It doesn't matter. He's not here. We sold Park Han Bin for 27 grand, a youngster for 6 grand. Bae Hyun Seo, who it may be a mistake to have sold him, but he was 2 stars, as you can see. But we've forgotten what he was like. We literally just sold him, and our scouts are like, is he 1.5 star? Like, guys, he was here for an entire season or 2. Actually, probably longer. Is he a youth prospect? Frustrations. But we sold him for 50 grand. We might need him for a left back cover, but it's too late. He's already gone. Nothing else too exciting after that. And I did want to show this to you. This is 3 days previous on the previous screen. We are favorites to win. 2-1 odds to win the league, which kind of surprises me. Ulsan is just a shade below 3-1, but okay. All right. That's fair play, I guess. I love that this up here says all transfers and then doesn't show you the released players. That doesn't sound like all transfers to me. Released players is in the drop box here, drop down selection of all Anyway, Jesse Lingard has left. Has he gone anywhere? I haven't noticed. Nope. He's decided to be a head of youth development with a 3 working with youngsters and a 5 to 6 on judging player ability and potential with a national B. You'd think he might. I mean, he could be a coach. I guess he could be an attacking coach, but like, it's why is he a green staff? Anyway, Lee Sang-min, who is one of our center backs, again, could have kept him around as like emergency, backup, but we have enough players still on the books whose contracts end at the end of the season who haven't left, and we haven't been able to sell them. So his contract was up, and it was like, sorry, bro. And Yazan Al-Arab, who I'm kind of gutted about because he did quite well for us last season, a 703 as a center back, I think is solid. He took up that, foreign player, non-Asian, or Asian non-South Korean foreign player spot. Easy for me to say, and it was time. He was, I wasn't going to give him a contract extension, so he's already gone. So where does that leave us? It leaves us here. Got our 4-2-3-1. We still got our normal goalkeeper. We've got Lee Yu-hyun, our right back, who may also at times play left back because he is either footed, which is very, very, very important for us at this point. We've got the two young center backs coming in. Kang Sang-woo, I got a notification in one of my meetings with my staff saying in the last 6 months, he's gone from being a leading K1 star player or something like that, a leading player, to a leading K League 2 player, aka an absolute collapse. And he's going to be starting at left back for us in many games this season as a 2-star. I'm going to let that sit for a second. So that's not good. 6 strength, stamina falling, pace falling is bad. I cannot find a quality South Korean left back. We have Alex Murphy. I would love to start Alex Murphy, but we can't. We can't start Alex Murphy because of our squad. We have Svetkovic, that's 1. Marco Antonio, that's 2. James McAtee, that's 3. That's the 3 non-Asian foreign players we can start. That's a bummer. Koi Kang Min is going to be our starting DLP. I've got, also, this represents a problem for Diego Hernandez, who's also, foreign, non-Asian. We have Dennis Jinru, who we loaned out pathetically to Haugesund in Norway. And they played him a total of 2 starts and 1 sub in a cup game. And he had 1 international match. Good for him. But he's Australian. I've got him listed for 750. Nobody's come in for him. We had him listed at 850. Nobody came in for him. He's good enough-ish to be a rotation option, but I'm going to have to drop his playing time to squad player at best. Hopefully he'll be okay with that. But it's a problem with getting all of the foreign players on the pitch at the same time. So what that means is when we do any kind of rotations, like if we are doing well in a game, maybe we take Svetkovic off and we put Alex Murphy in at left back to solidify the back line. Yeah, it's a little sketchy, I must admit. Really, our best other left back, other than our right back, is Lee Jin-hyun, who is the I play anywhere guy, right? I don't play DM, but I'll play midfield, wing, attacking mid, and I also do a little bit of left back, but his tackling is a 6. So he's definitely more of like an attacking wing back, if you will. So that is like the part of the squad I'm most disappointed about trying to rebuild here is like Kang Sang-woo has fallen apart and we haven't been able to find a South Korean replacement. Is what it is. Now, I'm going to kick this over so you can see the ages. The bench, I think, looks a lot better. So we've got Kim Joo-hyun, who is that center back DM, the Marco Antonio. Okay, so he covers a wide range, 18. So when we sub him in, we are checking the box on subbing in an under 18 or under 22 player, sorry. Jang Jong-hoo, who is a center back, again, 6'1", already improving. Same thing, 18 years old. The age has gotten significantly less here. We've got Kim Dong-woon, who came back from loan. Some of these players were loanees when I took over. Right winger, I'm not saying he's necessarily, he's not even squad player. He's impact sub, give the kid a run out when you're up 3-0. But look at these physical stats. Not bad. Not bad. Technical, mental needs some work, but again, 18 years old. We are solving the problem of having to sub on under 22 players. We've got An Seung-min, who is a spine type player. Again, 2-star, but it's almost like we have a depth problem where our depth is incredibly young or really, really old. We don't have that middle, and I'm guessing that's because in the league it's hard to find players, and so it's well, I don't want to be your backup. I'm going to go start someplace else. I love his teamwork and bravery at 18. We're training him as a deep lying playmaker, but could he do the ball winning midfield? With a 7 tackling, 8 aggression, and 9 anticipation? I mean, he's 17. He's got a long way to go from a development standpoint. I don't know. We have kept around Di Hyun Seok because our wingback situation is so poor. He might have to come in every so often, and he's also on a contract until 2027 and nobody wants him. That's also really why we've kept him. Same thing with Lim Myun Hyuk, we might just let him go, but his contract expired, but he's around for 1.6K, so it's kind of like, well, if we get into a bind and you're still here, we could throw you on. I think we did that a little bit with Kagoshima. Ha Chang Rei, we've got listed. Again, starting to fall apart at 33. Good K-League 2 player, but nobody wants him. He's on 5.75 grand a week. We should just list him for free. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Or just like release him just to save on the wages. And same thing with Paik Sang-hoon, who I kind of feel bad because he's got a little bit more potential. Like, again, you can keep him around. He's listed. He also listed for loan. Nobody's really wanted it, but like, I guess we could keep him in comparison to, say, Lim Min Hyuk to save us on the wages. I don't know. And then again, we've got Lee Dong-jiang. We're about to play the Asian Champions League, which is why he's not registered, because you register that before the end of the transfer window, which is yay. But for the league, you can register until March 31st. So he's registered for the league, just not for the Champions League, and he's going to help kind of rotate in. Because again, it's not that we don't have depth to cover the attacking third. It's just like if you look they all play in the same spots. I guess I could show you Min-Soo Kim, who's also back from loan. He kind of is the younger version of that guy. Can kind of play anywhere, not exceptionally well, but I felt like he was good enough to keep around. Again, he was 22. He's now 22, but does he count as under 22? We'll find out when we go to sub him in at some point. So the depth is there. The quality depth, and then the ones that are still on the bench that could come in are forward players. So that's going to make it interesting. But last thing we'll look at here, I'll show you the wages and the transfer and all that kind of stuff. Still having it, like, I remember the 2026 World Cup was the reason we had a bunch of games in June, and now there's no excuse. Not in June. There weren't any games in June, which meant there were a lot of games here, is what I meant to say. And now, here we are. We've got games a week apart, great, and then 4 days later, 3 days later, 3 days later. It's like, guys, what? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Finances, we've got 1.2 million in the transfer budget. We've got, what is that, 15 grand or so in the wage budget. We've got room. Bank balance is healthy. Everybody's good. Everything's good. Board's happy. Supporters are relatively happy. We haven't signed a backup goalkeeper, which makes me a fuzz nervous, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So I've rambled on enough for this video. Let me know what you think about the 4 transfers in. Sorry, let me kick it back over to there it is. The 4, other than James McAtee, you already knew about him. I guess you can let me know how you feel about him as well. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you subscribe. If you are a longtime viewer and you're like, oh yeah, you're back, baby, because somebody popped into the Discord recently and was like, oh, I heard a person that sounded like you, and then that made me think of you, and I came and found you. If you ever supported me on Patreon and are looking for a reason to help somebody out, I'm currently, if you don't know, unemployed. This is a way of doing that, and I have more stuff in the kitchen that we're cooking up for you. It'll be coming soon. The next episode, to kind of give you a little bit of preview, why am I still rambling, will be the doubleheader against Ulsan. Predicted to be second in the league versus us predicted to be first in the league. Can we get on in the Champions League for the first time in the save? Let's find out next time. Have a good one.